Presentation Multimedia, 360-degree digital marketing solutions for your business.
Well, hello everybody out there in podcast land. This is Dean Steinman over at Presentation Multimedia. And guess what? We're back with another awesome podcast for you. And today I am super stoked to have with me Ian Garlick. Ian is a video marketing expert, and Ian's here to talk a little bit about marketing, videos, and the importance of it. So Ian, how you doing today, bud?
I'm awesome, Dean. Thanks for having me on.
My pleasure. So give us a little background. Ian Garlick, tell us your story.
I mean, I've been in marketing for about 17 years. I actually got started up literally in your neck of the woods. Lived in Westchester, worked in Long Island in legal marketing. And prior to that, I was in commercial real estate in New York City. And, 2007, it was a little, I saw it coming, and I'm like, what I loved was internet marketing. I love the marketing part of it. I actually was like, I used LinkedIn back then to almost sell like a $150 million building right before the crash, and then the crash happened. We got into turning marketing, and then, YouTube was purchased by Google, and I was like, man, this is going to change everything. And so we really focused on YouTube, and over time, we found that the place we needed to start was with customer stories and client stories and video, what we call video case stories. Really is the place to start. We do a lot of other videos, but when you start with your client stories and their success stories, it transforms your marketing, it transforms your business, and you can get those ranking in Google and in YouTube. And from there, we just, that's what we've been doing since then. We work with digital agencies, we work with, big names, Fortune 50 companies down to, local companies doing this. And it works but especially for high ticket services. People don't realize that YouTube, everyone's searching for them, and YouTube is a great way to get in front of people.
Yeah, it really is. Like, more people watch videos, of course, than anything else. And, so as far as, people out there, you've heard the word social proof, all right? And so why don't you explain what social proof is to people? Because the myth behind it there, from your perspective, what is social proof and how important is it for a business? Because in my eyes, you could go to the coast about how great you are, but how do you get other people to do it for you? So why don't you tell us, how social proof is so important and what can be done for it?
Yeah, I mean, social proof is, what's his name? Cialdini came out with the idea of social proof. And to give you an idea of how powerful it is, like, they put signs out there, and Robert Cialdini did all these studies, amazing marketing studies, book Influence. They put signs out there, and instead of showing instead of saying, will you please do this, they said, other people have done this. They did it in hotels. And you'll know, if you notice now, if you go in a hotel and says, people like you hang up their towels, right? Instead of saying, please hang up their towels. And it increased, I don't remember the percentage, it's been a year since I read the study. People do things because of other people. It's called mimetic desire. And, everyone thinks people do things because of who they are. He's a doctor, so he does stuff because he's a doctor. No, we do things because of the people we see doing them. It's human nature. So when we see someone doing something, we're more likely to do it. We see their faces, and it is everything. Now, you throw a story on top of it. A lot of science behind that too, and how storytelling works. Because I like to say the science of this stuff because it sounds kind of woo-woo if you don't. It's like, oh, social proof and storytelling. But a good friend of mine, Dr. Paul Zak, did studies, like the military bought his technology of how they're measuring storytelling in video, and how much seeing someone's emotions transforms how much someone's willing to do something. Because in the end, right, it's where the big question someone has too is, do you know my problem? Can you help my problem? How do you do it? And have you helped someone just like me with that problem? If that's it, I mean, Dean, you've been doing this for a long time, right? And it's like, you tell the stories of the people that you've helped over and over again. That's the number one thing that you sell with, isn't it?
Exactly. So now let's talk about video and how do you actually implement video into that, and how do you take your business to the next level? As over here at Presentation Multimedia, we work with small businesses in north of New York City area, Westchester County, Hudson Valley, and what have you. And so anybody who is looking to really take the business up to the next level, what tip can you give them as far as using video and social proof together?
Yeah, so I mean, I wrote a book called Video Testimonials That Land the Big Fish. You just go into Amazon, you can look up video testimonials. It shows exactly how to do this. From how you plan it out, because you've got to think about what you want to do, right? And then what are your customers' problems? Because they don't just have, no one wants a website, right? They want leads. And why do they want the leads? Because they want their business to grow. And we need to have people talking about those things. So you need to think about all your customers' problems. Like if it's a doctor, like a plastic surgeon, right? No one wants plastic surgery. They want to look better. They want to feel better. They want to look younger. Why? Because maybe their husband left, right? Or maybe they just turned 50 and want to feel great. Or maybe that, they've always kind of felt bad about a part of their body. Those are the kind of stories that we want to capture. And you can capture them because people, especially once they've transformed, will tell the stories. I mean, in the end, everyone's gonna be like, referrals are my best business. What is a referral? It's a story from someone that you know, right? That's all it is. It's like, I saw Jenny over there. She lost weight. Where'd she go? Oh, she looks great. She feels great. She went to this weight loss center. That's a story. But what we can do is capture those stories and tell them the same story in different ways all throughout the internet. So you can optimize them for your name, put them on YouTube. You can have 20 different versions of the story on YouTube answering people's problems. So when they search for the problem, boom, that shows up. You put them in Facebook retargeting. You send them out in your email list. Just telling these stories, and not testimonials, but people telling their stories of their problems. And then you can have your clients just talking about you everywhere, all the time.
For me, people always say, well, I don't know how to do that. I don't feel comfortable doing that. So why don't you help explain how to break down the barrier? And because only one way to get a review testimonial, that's to ask. So how can people ask without being obtrusive or being afraid to do so? So, what's the best way for you things to break down that barrier? Because 99% of people are just afraid to ask. Oh, I don't want to bother them, blah, blah, blah. So how do you get that to that step?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. It's a good point. I mean, the number one thing is ask often. So, I think you can preface it too and say, hey, if this works out really well for you, would you mind telling your story? Because if you start asking that, people are like, oh yeah, I'm excited about this now because I'm going to show my story. A lot of people do want to tell their story. But that's the other thing is ask for their story. Ask them to share their story because everyone wants to tell their story. And if you do that often enough, some people are going to say yes, some people are going to say no. You've got to follow up a lot, but it is the most valuable tool in your business. Your number one job in your business is to get more people like the person in the story. That is the number one reason you're in business. And so you can help more people. And if you look at it as you're helping more people, not trying to sell them, it makes it easier for you to think through that too.
This podcast is sponsored by orthomarketing.com. Hey, you an orthodontist or dentist looking to give your practice the competitive edge it deserves? Well, look no further than OrthoMarketing. OrthoMarketing is the dentist and orthodontist choice for digital marketing. At OrthoMarketing, we specialize in helping orthodontists and dentists just like you attract more new patients. Our team of experts knows the ins and outs of the dental and orthodontic industry, and we're here to help your practice shine. We're going to supercharge your online presence. We're going to optimize your website. We're going to harness the power of social media to connect you with the patients that you want. Say goodbye to empty chairs and say hello to a thriving practice. Choose OrthoMarketing today and watch your patient list grow. Visit orthomarketing.com and learn more and take the first steps towards your practice success. OrthoMarketing. It's not just our name, it's what we do. So how do they do so? Do they just, what do they do it? Say they're face-to-face? Do they do it email, text, phone call? What's the best way to actually ask somebody and to get them to do it? So like, yeah, I'll do it, no problem. And then they don't. So, when my clients, they ask for a review and people say, yeah, I'll do it. And then they leave and never do it again. Because I always like to say, you're going to captive audience. Once somebody's in an office, like a dentist office or a retail place, whatever it is, while they're there, ask them to do something.
Yeah.
So what would you suggest would be the best way when to ask them?
Yeah.
And
I mean,
when they say yes, then what?
So I always think about asking people all along their journey, right? Because there's little wins that you can ask them, like, hey, would you mind talking about your story? Now, if you're remote, or if your clients aren't coming into your office, we do this remotely. Like, when we connect and people will connect them with us, and at VideoCaseStory.com, we have people that you just connect them to us, and then we will follow up and interview. If you're going to do this yourself, you got to plan on asking and then following up. I suggest Zoom. Zoom is easier for a lot of people because we're used to Zoom now. 4 years ago, Zoom was unknown, but everyone does it now. I think Zoom's a little easier. If it is something where someone's coming in, like their weight loss journey, or the divorce ended, or the personal injury attorney where like they just won something, or like a website company where they just got a bunch of leads and everything, their life's transforming, and they're coming in, ask them ahead of time and have a video crew there, or have just a simple camera, but be ready with questions, prepared to know what questions you want to ask too. What points do you want to get across so that you know where to go with it, because you want to be prepared to interview them, not to just have them talk about your business, but ask about who they are, what were their problems, what was the process like, what was the moment that they saw it all working, what did it feel like when it all worked?
And how typically long should a video be when they ask for it? Because some people are like, I got a half hour of your time. They might feel like they're intruding. Is it 5 minutes, 20 minutes? So how long should a typical, story video be?
From the interview standpoint, we ask people for 15 minutes of their time. It's like, if you get people going and they're really talking about the story, we've had people talk for hours. Like, literally, we've had people, we had a personal injury client who their client was, who sued a big cruise line. She talked for like 2 hours about the process and everything. We just asked for 15 minutes. They just get going. If you ask the right way, but I keep it easy for them. If they want to talk for 10 minutes, talk for 10 minutes. Now, how long should the end video be? That depends on where you're going to use it. If you're using it on LinkedIn, which I think most businesses should be on LinkedIn and should have their customer stories on there, it should be under a minute. YouTube, we just launched a 30-minute story. That was an in-depth story actually in New York about a big case that happened down in Bronx. It was a personal injury case. And it was a really interesting 30-minute story. So it depends on where they are in their journey, how good is the content, how good's the story, and where you're going to use it too. Because if someone's about to hire you, right, and they're about to spend $20, $30, $40, $50,000 with you, they'll watch a 5-7 minute story to get a feel for what it feels like to be a client.
What do you recommend would be the right way to do research to know what to ask them as far as questions go? Because somebody is a plumber, electrician, a lawyer, they don't know how to interview somebody or what questions to ask. So what would you recommend would be the first steps to just get a basic 4, 5, 6, 10 question to ask them? Because they're like, I don't know what to do. So
well, I mean, we want to figure out what we want, like what's our differentiator? Where do we want to go with this? What are the big things that we want to get out there? So we think about those things first, because like a journalist, right? If a journalist goes out there, they don't not prepare questions, and they don't have just standard list of questions. They know where they want to go with it. Same thing with an attorney, right? They know where they want to go with it. So know where you want to go with it. Set your goals. And then you think about the 3 stages really of a story. The connection. Who is this person? Why would I care about this person? What's interesting about this person? Why is that person like someone else I want to talk to? Conflict. We want to talk about what were their problems. What was that moment that we just, when did that problem first arise? What did you try to do it with it? And then, what was it like when you first met Dean? Like, what were your thoughts? And we do want to ask questions like about their hesitations, because that will help you to overcome objections. Like, why were you not thinking about not doing marketing? Or why were you thinking about not building a new website? What were your concerns? And then we want to talk about conclusion. What was life afterwards? Like, when did it start working? Those types of things. Those, and the biggest thing, the 3 biggest things that you can have in a great story are moments. What were the moments that things happened? Emotions. How did a person feel? And transformation. How are you different now? So, crafting questions around that, and you want to, be casual about it. Now, one other thing I always say is, like, if possible, have someone else do the interview, because it is kind of weird to, if you're a plumber, it's like going out on a date, right? And be like, after the date going, hey, can I hop on the phone and interview for 20 minutes about the date? So, but if you can find someone, but it's, it sounds like a lot, but we have clients that have used these videos for, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And every year, 10x the return on the investment in it. So if it's done right, it not only works right away, but it works for a long time. So it's worth the investment.
What do people do with the videos after you make them, or after they have them? They just sit there and put up on YouTube and hope people find it, or So what's the steps when do it? Because it was put TikTok 2 years ago. So what do you So you put them on that? Do you use the same video over and over again? Do you keep editing it? So once you shoot one, then what?
Yeah, I mean, if you go to our website, VideoCaseStory.com, you'll find 50 ways to use this. We use them in so many different ways. First place, like I talk about in the book, is the fish in the barrel strategy. You have clients surrounding you, so you should rank them on YouTube for your name. So when someone Googles your name, your customer starts popping up, because YouTube will show up in the search engines. YouTube is the second most used search engine. So you want to have a great, robust YouTube channel. You want to have them throughout your website, not just have a success stories page. So the About Us is the second most used page. That's a great place to have people talking about you. Your contact page. 70% of shopping carts are abandoned, right? Like people put stuff in there. Same thing with a contact page. If you go look at your contact page, you have hundreds of views and probably 10 contacts. So have a success story on there. Email these out to people on a regular basis. We don't remember what we saw yesterday. You can send the same story every month and people will be like, we throw a different title on it. Definitely on your social media is an awesome place. Treat your LinkedIn like a homepage. Have your customer stories talking about you there. And if you do, like, one of my favorite ways right now is trade shows. Instead of having just like your brand across the back, have your customer stories playing in the background with text overlays. So when someone walks by, they see someone like that. There's just so many things. And probably the biggest thing that I think every business does not do that they should is retargeting. Your customer stories can follow around every single person that hits your website. You just put them in Facebook ads and put them in retargeting. Just the people, because they're interested if they hit your website. And there are just a few of the ways, but yeah, I mean, in sales, I use them in outbound sales. Speaking of retargeting, like one of my, our clients literally has made millions of dollars putting these videos into the retargeting. They're like, it's our best performing video. So, I mean, I can just go on and on. That's why we specialize in it, because there's so many ways to do it and just different ways to tell the story.
Look, interesting. How many videos should a business have? I mean, it's endless. Just keep making more and more and more and more. Because then, like, I don't know what to do with these things. I'm a plumber. What do I do with all these videos? So, so what happens if you make 2, 3, 10, 50? So let's back up. So ideally, how big of a universe, or how many videos should a business start with?
I mean, I would say I would have tried to get at least 3 good video case stories, 3 good client stories, and a few different versions of them. Your About Us video, it's the second most used page on your website. So they want to know who you are. How is this going to work? Have a process video and have video FAQs. If you start there and just have that stuff, you will convert so many more clients and so many more prospects, because they're going to see how this works. Someone that you worked with, they're going to get to know you before they give you a call. So there, and then, I mean, the more videos you do and you do the right way, the more you're going to rank in YouTube, the more traffic you're going to get, the more if you're answering people's questions. Just yesterday, we worked with a tax company. We shot something like 100 videos for them because we're answering every single possible question that person could have, so that you have a potential then to be in front of them that many more times. Because the more they see your face, the more they hear your voice, the more you're going to be their friend.
How expensive is it to set up a video program and shoots and stuff like that?
I mean, you can get started for a few $1,000s with a super professional team. It starts with strategy, though. You really need to have someone who's like yourself, a good strategist, who's doing this stuff, because you can get amazing. I mean, when I was in New York, I worked with amazing cinematographers, literally Emmy award-winning ones. We have another one that's on our team. They're amazing. They're not marketing strategists. And I was just talking, there's a company out there that sells beautiful cinematography videos and I watch them from a marketing standpoint. I'm like, this is really not good. And someone spent $20,000 on it. So start with strategy, spend a few $1,000s, get the right strategist, and then you can start, really when it breaks down to it over the course of 5 years, I have clients that have used the videos for 10 years, it comes down to a few dollars a day if it's done the right way.
You're right. When it comes to, video, sometimes when I make a website for somebody, they want this thing to be so flashy and so beautiful, and they don't convert, so it's about being smart. Things have changed, so, it's not about being so glitzy and all the bells and whistles. It's just somebody goes to your website, get them to turn into a customer. That's what you want to do. And same thing with that.
Mm-hmm.
Just, pretend to do, guys, I hired Ian for my company to do this. So so I don't just bring anybody on here, so he, is so good that I just, we do this, and I hired him to handle this for us to put these, stories together. So that's one certain big thumbs up. If I'm recommending it, give it a shot. Tell if you can just quickly, what's the turn time? Like, how much time does somebody need to do it? Like, I'm so busy, I can't do this. I don't have the time to do it. So realistically, if somebody's thinking of doing this, what is it you need from them in order to set it up and plan it? Because like, I don't know what to do, and I'm so busy. So realistically, how much time is needed from the business owner to get this going?
So yeah, that's a great question, because it's about saving time. So with us, it's usually about an hour, 30-minute what we call a GPS call, where we just get to know your goals and the stories you have already and your positioning. And then we have what we call a strategy session, our case story tackle box, where we spend about an hour talking about your customers. And then you introduce us. That takes about 20 minutes of your time. So we're about 2 hours in total over the course of 30 days. Once you introduce us, we do everything. We follow up and everything. And then we take those case stories, we create a strategy around them. And then you just got to watch the videos and go, hey, I like this one or I don't. And then we can help you use them, or we refer to awesome other agencies that will use them. We work with a lot of other companies like yourself, because we don't do everything. And any agency that says that they can do every single thing the best is not doing the best job for you. So, it's like you're saying, we work with awesome local agencies, ads agencies, whatever, and we create that strategy and use it. So, total of your time, maybe 3 to 4 hours over 60 days. It's not too bad. It's just, I'll be honest, the hardest part for us sometimes is just following up with the people we're introduced to. Because it is. People will say yes, and then, then they'll just get busy. So we do a lot of follow-up.
So Ian, two final quick questions for you. These are most important ones. You're stuck on a desert island for the next year.
Okay.
Bring one movie and one thing to eat. What are you bringing?
Man, that is a tough one. One movie. I don't know. Geez. It's either like a Star Wars movie, probably, or like, I don't know. I like sci-fi stuff, and superhero movies. So probably one of those.
How far, like, from the Mandalorian all the way back to Luke Skywalker, or how,
it would be one of the original Star Wars movies, not one of the newer ones.
Well,
yeah. One of those, or maybe like I love Avengers Endgame. That was one of my favorites. So,
and you have one thing to eat.
Oof. I love subs. Can it be a sub?
Man, exactly. You got a refrigerator, so you can have unlimited amount in it there.
Dang it, Dean! Now I need a sub.
What kind of sub?
Oh, sorry.
What kind of sub?
Right now, there was a place actually on the Upper West Side, right where we lived, Andy's Deli, that had amazing subs. But then, probably Jersey Mike's now.
Okay, funny. New Yorkers, we call them heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, and then one last question is, you have the ability to have lunch with anybody in history.
Oof. I don't know. Probably Walt Disney.
Oh, good answer. All right, good, nice,
yeah,
excellent. Ian, so if somebody wants to get more information, reach out to you, wants to, get interested in this, what's the best way for them to do so?
Sure. So you can get the book at testimonialbook.com, or you can just go to Amazon, look up testimonial book, video testimonial book. And then if you need help with customer stories, go to VideoCaseStory.com.
Perfect. Great. Ian, thanks so much, man, for joining. I appreciate everybody out there. As I said, I use them. All right. So I highly recommend, videos are important. I offer this for all my clients. I suggest to have videos on there when I make websites or within the marketing. You have to have videos in play. You can use them all over. I mean, how many people are on TikTok today? How many people looked at YouTube today? How many people, when you're going to Facebook or Instagram, you watch videos. Nobody reads pictures anymore. It's about videos. So you got to have a video, in play and a right strategy. So, if you need a marketing help, obviously work with a company like Presentation Multimedia, who can certainly help you out with your marketing strategies. And then from there, we can get the program running and get some videos going through Ian, and then really blow this up for you. So Ian, thanks so much, man. Appreciate it. Everybody in podcast land, thanks so much for joining us. And everybody be happy, be safe, and go Jets.
Go Jets.
Yes.
Presentation Multimedia, 360-degree digital marketing solutions for your business.